8:35 a.m. news and views on Salam Media. We're crossing over to Sierra Leone, and we're going to be talking about a very, very worrying situation as far as Africa is concerned. Worrying indeed, but surprising, no. Today, the relative peace and political stability in the Sahel region has come under serious threat made by Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, the genocidal IDF state. And this prime minister, in a video that has gone viral through the social media, unveiled his plan to destabilize the African continent. Netanyahu intimated the international public that his next stop would be the liberation of the African continent after completing his mission in the Middle East. Frightening, but not surprising, and we're now seeing this neo-colonialism stance by white supremacists all around the Western world. And I guess the global South has to be really worried and prepared for this takeover by fascists and neo-colonialists. Let's hear what Alimamy Bakarr Sankoh has to say about this. He is the founder and national leader of the Opposition People's Democratic League in Sierra Leone. Morning to you, Alimamy. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Are we being panicked by this statement? Are we overly anxious about it? Is it mischief making here, or is it something truly to be concerned about?
Yeah, we are concerned because Israel has never made short threats without executing its intentions. I know the intentions of Benjamin Netanyahu, the current Prime Minister of Israel, is not good for Africa. And he has grudges, hatred, and malice towards, in particular, the Sahel region, wherein the three wise men, that leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, did not support Israel's aggression on Palestine and Iran. So he has the intention now, after the Middle East, to turn the gauntlet on the Sahel region in the name of liberating the African continent, which is a false flag. So we are very much concerned. And it's very much worrisome to every African, true Pan-African leader on the continent.
So clearly it seems as if Netanyahu is planning to punish Africans in the Sahel for their governments not backing the aggression against Iran, and of course having expressed anti-Israeli sentiments regarding the genocide on the Palestinian people. And while in actual fact we do know that it seems as if we do take this as it's seriously, at its most serious implications and what it will do for that region in Africa, is that the plan to meddle in the internal affairs of Sahel with the intention to assassinate, and I repeat this, with the intention to assassinate the leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Has Netanyahu's Israel degenerated into a terrorist state that is being used by the enemies of Africa to carry out political biddings in the Sahel region? Alimamy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Madam. Let us consider first, discuss about the relations, Israel relations with the African continent. For instance, its relations with Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, for instance, has been a center for destabilization in the Sahel state. Let me frankly say it very loud and clear to everyone that President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, for instance, has survived 31 assassination attempts at his life in less than 3 years. And the same goes to the president of Mali, General Assimi Goita. And it goes also to the president of Niger, General Abdurrahmani Chiani. So we are worried about development. And you know it as I do, that only recently one of the lawmakers in the United States revealed that the activities of all these terrorists in Africa have been sponsored by the United States through the
Hmm.
former USAID.
Yeah, that's no secret at all. We're all aware of
Yes,
it.
it's no secret about it at all. That is correct. And I mean, we are very much worried and we are in consultation with Africans all over the world what response we can do to Benjamin Netanyahu threat. And one of the actions on the table now is to come out to the street to protest, to reject Netanyahu's aggression rhetoric towards Africa. We consider his pronouncement as a threat to peace, as a threat to political stability, and even as a threat to the development of the African continent. And
Who will
we also have on the table to protest to the United Nations for the United Nations to take an action immediately to stop Benjamin Netanyahu from implementing his intentions, which is not good for the people of Africa and the international community.
so Alimami, who do you believe will benefit if these terrorists, these Israeli terrorists and other Western terrorist forces succeed in killing the three wise men? And that, of course, I'm referring to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, because touching the leaders means touching everyone. It is their citizens as well. That's the one part of my question. Let me also read a comment here from Facebook from Abdul Razak Ismailov. And he says Israel has not degenerated to a terror state. It has always been a hyper violent terror state since its founding, of course, in conjunction with the apartheid in South Africa and the escalation of violence there in post the 1960s. So, two totally different comments here, but they are undoubtedly interconnected because they playing from the same, they singing from the same hymn sheet, are they not? And I'm referring here to uh, the white terrorists of the world, the white supremacists of the world.
Yeah, first and foremost, you know that Israel supported the former obnoxious apartheid regime in South Africa. That's one, no secret. And we know the role of Israel in the destruction and assassination of President Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. And most of the assassinations, political assassinations in Africa, have the blueprint of Israel. We know it. And planning an other aggression on the African soil means the destruction of the development that is taking place on the continent today, meaning destroying the hope of the future generations of this continent. So if they carry out this threat, this aggression rhetoric on the African soil, honestly, Africa will suffer. Africa will go back to zero with no ray of hope for anyone to come in the likes of inventory and the likes of Ashimi Goita and the likes of Abraham Chani to liberate Africa, to stand for the people of Africa, to stand for justice for Africa, to stand for the development of Africa, to stand for the prosperity of Africa. You know, Israel is fighting a proxy war. It's fighting on behalf of what? The French colonial masters, on behalf of the imperialists. And I can tell you, only recently we saw 5 African leaders at the White House doing what? Only to go there to be molested by someone who wants to refer to the African continent as cheat holes. So when you visit such person, what you really expect from him is to molest you, to confirm to the world that these guys really they are shit holes. And that's what happened. Look at what they said. They went and was surrendered their country's resources, natural resources, to the White House and the deep state. So
And I
Africa.
think it's absolutely imperative that African leaders wake up and don't succumb to the divide and rule tactics of Western supremacists. It is so crucial now at this juncture that African leaders unite. It's clear that Netanyahu's exercises to wreck Africa and to take Africa back hundreds of years. We need
Mhm.
to call on all African people and their organizations to immediately condemn this very evil plan. And I don't think that we are being panicky at all. The writing is on the wall. Just look at what's happening currently in Palestine. Look what's happening to the neighboring states, Lebanon, Syria, and clearly they're not going to leave. They're not going to take their filthy paws and their greedy eyes off of Africa. Your very important message to African leaders, what would it be? And what's the next step as far as African leaders are concerned regarding this current situation to destabilize the Sahel region of Africa? Because for now, um, the target is the Sahel region. That doesn't mean that the rest of Africa is safe. Next will be slowly but surely they permeate all of Africa.
Thank you, madam.
Alimami.
We know that yeah, if they succeed in the Sahel region, the next target will be South Africa. I can tell you. The next target will be South Africa. From South Africa to where now? They will come to Nigeria.
Mhm.
So it is time for African leaders to wake from the slumber and realize that they are holding power for the interest of the people of Africa, to serve the people of Africa, not to serve foreign interests. So the primary objective, goal as leaders is to serve their own people and not to serve foreign interests. You see, so we, for example, let me just give an example. Most like what is happening in the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, the M23, they are a proxy terrorist institution that is really fighting on behalf of the deep state to get rid of the resources in that country.
Hmm.
And it's happening all over Africa.
Absolutely. We're aware of
You know,
that.
for example, we need our leaders to really come out and do something, to unite, to sit on the table, to plan, to replan for the continent of Africa, or else posterity will prove them wrong tomorrow. History will put them on the wrong side of the book.
And that's where we leave it.
So
Sadly, we do know the tactics of white supremacist terrorists, and that is, of course, to divide and rule and to corrupt our leaders with pieces of gold. And that is the story of, um, I guess, subjugation and oppression from the beginning of time. So, yep, a very, very serious warning to all of Africa that they do African leaders to wake up. We're going to leave that story there, and we will hopefully talk to you again in a couple of weeks' time. Alimamy Bakarr Sankoh, founder of the national leader of the Opposition People's Democratic League in Sierra Leone. And before I wrap up, I'd just like to make a comment to someone who's posted several messages on Facebook. That, of course, is you, Abdul Razak Ismailov. I would love to chat with you one of the days on my show regarding the politics of your country, and that, of course, is Estonia. I don't think it is much in the headlines, and we need people like yourself to come onto the show and to educate us about your country's politics, inshallah. Let's move on then. It is 8:51 South African time. And next on the show, we are going to be talking with Executive Director at Ashraful Aid, and that is you, Maulana Sahel Wadi.